H5 clear. Roger. And we're getting a picture on the TV. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
The United States Apollo 11 was the first crew mission to land on the moon on 20 July 1969, taken moments before Neil Armstrong became the first human to step onto the surface of the moon. On 21 July 1969, an estimated 500 million people worldwide watched this event, the largest television audience for a live broadcast at that time. 50 years after Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon, some people insist it never happened and was all a big hoax by the US government. The suspicions arose even as the lunar landing was taking place in 1969. Said Roger Linus, NASA's former chief historian. Soon, conspiracy theories that said it was an elaborate Hollywood-style production created a soundstage on Earth started to take root. Before I start this project, previously I have already watched a video that discussed about the US moon landing conspiracy theory, and my belief about that topic was I believe that the United States was really sent a human to the moon, and until this years old, I do believe that Neil Armstrong was the first human, the first man that stepped up to the moon. My reason about my belief is that America was a superpower country and what the hell couldn't do by them. I know it's not critical at all, but anyways, when doing reading reflective, I have already read many articles with different perspectives and various statements from the trustworthy one until not very trustworthy media sources, something like BBC, the Content Time, the Conversation, even from the university page like Sunderland University. I also watch a news video and personal channel from YouTube for doing this project.
Before I read the articles about the US landing moon for my critical reading assignment, I believed that landing moon was a manipulation of the camera and film. And after I read or watched videos about these conspiracy theories, I still believe that landing moon was the indeed manipulation.
More than 50 years ago, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on the moon, but not everyone believed it. Almost as soon as the Apollo 11 spaceflight landed at Tranquility Base on July 20, 1969, conspiracy theories about the mission were born. Moon landing conspiracy theory claims that some or all elements the Apollo program and the associated moon landing were hoaxes staged by NASA. Various groups and individuals have made claims since the mid-1970s that NASA and others knowingly misled the public into believing the landings happened by manufacturing, tampering with, or destroying evidence, including photos, telemetry, types, radio and TV transmissions, and moon rock samples.
And then question number 3 is how I do the reading reflection log. For reading strategies, I first do skimming to the article or video to get the point. Then I do scanning to find important or specific text about such as author bias, word choice, alignment from articles about conspiracy, and in addition, I do visualization on articles or video that do not provide pictures to imagine the evidence that explained in the article or videos of this conspiracy being formed.
While doing reading reflective, first I have take a look at the title of the article, whether it seems to against or for about the topic, and then I do questioning and predict about what will the article elaborate. For the example, from the article entitled "Was the Moon Landing Fake?" Absolutely not, says a film expert. I do questioning, what does the author want me to understand about this writing? And then also from the title, I predict that the author will mention fact that the moon landing was really happened in point of view of film expert. When I reading this article, I also connecting with my prior knowledge like science explanation. For the example, the state that there's no wind in the moon. And it has similarities with the one of the conspiracy theories that in the photos the flag actually flapping since there's no wind in the moon. And I also read claims from another article said that actually the astronaut was accidentally bend the rod a little bit and make the flag motions. And when I read this article, I also do highlighting and doing notation for the fact and clients from the article. From different.
Before reading the article, I'd like to focus on the title, subtitle, and keywords. This helps me to ensure myself that the article really meets my need to gain to information. In this case, is moon landing conspiracy theory. Then I brainstorming what I already know about the topic from previous articles I have read, as I predict what I will learn from reading the article. During the reading, I always try to find the most important information about the topic. If I find the word or the idea that don't understand, I will try to fix it up. For example, in the article of 50 years after Apollo 11 moon landing, Hawkes still there online by Daniel Funk. He mentioned some movies about moon landing were faked. It triggers me to watch the movies and collect more information. After reading an article, it usually raises some question in my mind about the topic.
From different article entitled "Did We Really Land on the Moon?" The author was neutral about this topic. In this article, the author gives several conspiracy theories, and they seek whether the conspiracy theory surrounding in moon landing was true or not. Also, the evidence and the claims given by the author have well-known sources like organizations like NASA or other astronomy experts. But there are some theory that I believe it makes sense and kind of true. The sea rocks. The sea rocks on the photos clearly shows a perfect letter C on it. And the theorists believe that it is a studio property. Then the statement given by the authors, he said that the explanation by NASA to this theory was laughable. From the statement, I thinking that why it is so laughable. And then he said that NASA maintained that it may be a stray hair, whereas this photo actually published by NASA itself. I didn't expect that NASA will give explanation like that. They should scientifically explanation to debunking these theories, but not. So something theory like that changed my mind about the truthness of moon landing theory. So while doing this long reading reflection, I sometimes find that some conspiracy theories was make sense and I cannot believe of it, but sometimes I do believe that the moon landing was really happened. So yeah, that makes me become neutral in the last of this reading reflection.
How does the article affect you so that it is biased toward topics? A lot of evidence from several experts in the articles or videos that I've been read and watched states that the US landing moon conspiracy is true. A lot of evidence there are no wine. There is no wine on the surface of the moon, flapping flag, and there is no star in the background of the picture that NASA published. And question number 5 is, what factors that make me still believe before or after reading the articles and watching the videos? I'm still confident in my perspective that the US landing moon conspiracy is real. My belief is based on the number of articles that discuss the evidence that say the conspiracy actually real. For example, is from an article titled Apollo and the Moon Landing Hoax. I quoted some sentences there. The film presented evidence of the deception, including photos showing no star in the lunar sky and American flags dripping on the moon, despite the fact that there is no wine or air there. It showed photographs and film oddities. It presented what became one of the most enduring claims by hackers. The astronauts could not have passed through the foul alien radiation belts in order to get to the moon. And other articles also state the same thing as I quoted before.
I still believe it, increasingly believe that the moon landing is a fake fact after reading some articles. An article by Peter Knight in How Moon Landing Conspiracy Theories Began and Why They Persist Today explain the reason why the theories persist today is because moon landing skeptics point to supposed clues such as photos that appear to show the astronauts in front of glass hairs that were etched on the camera glass, or a mysterious letter visible on the moon rock. There and many other semi-anomalies have been debated, but moon landing conspiracy theories have persisted in the popular imagination.
For the conclusion, like what I said before, my prior belief toward this topic was I strongly believe in the first of this project, and then after doing this long reading reflection, I changed my belief, become neutral, because there are some evidence of the conspiracy theories that changed my mind, and I'm not really sure whether it is true or not. So I changed my belief toward the US moon landing conspiracy, become neutral. Besides, Evita have prior belief that the moon landing was not true, and then he didn't change his mind after doing this reading reflection. He still persists that the moon landing was actually fake, while Tashliev have a natural belief at the beginning of the project, and then he changed his mind, become strongly believe in the last of this project. So our group member have a different belief toward this topic. It is influenced by many aspects, like the trustworthiness of the media sources, and then the bias of the author, and also word choice of the authors take a role in change our belief. I think that's all from Group 5, the US moon landing conspiracy theories. Thank you.
Thank you.